the first time in our history, the Central Bank of Nigeria reported that the British pound crossed the 1,000 naira mark. Precisely, £1 was traded at approximately 1,009 naira on Friday. Some see this as the success of President Bola Tinubu's naira float policy. This group of people argue that the CBN is not meddling or manipulating the foreign exchange market, which is considered to be progress. The second group of people say that this is bad. They argue Tinubu's policy is worse than what was obtainable under Buhari, and they have no evidence, and they do have evidence and data to support that. They say the Nigeria has never been quoted this low on the official side of the forex market, and they claim that the naira is literally at its weakest point in 50 years. To add perjury to the injury, they ask if we have seen the country's foreign reserves since the naira float. Yes, the reserves has fallen from $35 billion to $34 billion since the float, suggesting that the inflow of forex is not so great. The school of thought colored the data to tell certain stories. However, the writer of this article belongs to a third school of thought that believes that the policies are incomplete without key drivers. Last week, the writer argues that Tinubu needed to name his cabinet as soon as possible to keep the progress his administration has made on the economic side. I concluded that failure to do so could effectively mean losing investors' confidence he so clearly craves. Wow. So this writer, who's writing the first person, says, I asked at the time where investors should look for insight on monetary policy. Is it to Wale Edun, the president's special advisor on monetary policy, or Fola Shonubi, acting CBN governor? Both men are either media shy or playing by the same set of rules. They have both avoided the media since the naira float, and nobody can claim to understand what direction their policy or advisory action will. I think we have to understand what it actually really means for the naira to float on the market or having a floating exchange rate. It means that it's a type of exchange rate system in which a currency's value is allowed to fluctuate in response to foreign exchange market events. So in economics, this would be like the result of the invisible hand, right? Let's look at how, several factors play with each other. There's no interference with the government. There is no setting a fixed exchange rate, blah, blah, blah. And then you realize that market forces have basically shown that the naira its value is just rubbish. It's not worth anything, right? And the fact that it's been at a fixed level and, at several points it increased, was a way of controlling. But I think we've now left it to the market to decide. And the market has basically decided that the naira is worth nothing. Like, it's just bad. And so 1,000 naira to £1 is just crazy. And I think we should definitely avoid looking back to times of past administrations and not just compare, but then wish to go back to what you were complaining about. People can say, yes, Buhari's time did not do this, but Buhari wasn't necessarily the best. He did not show like he was trying to help the economy grow and be at a certain rate, was he? So I think I really don't understand where everything is going, to be honest. Everyone's saying that, Tinubu's, fast sort of pace as, president is going slow now with these repercussions. And as I said, when it comes to the benefits of what would happen, I mean, it's going to take time for Nigerians to then see. However, I just think I really don't understand. I really don't understand what's going on in the country. The removal of subsidy. It's crazy. It's honestly very crazy. And I think, to be honest, just prepare for the worst. They basically just told you that don't invest in naira. Whatever your property would be worth, just your value cannot be. Just if you want to save, do everything in dollars, because your country has just proven to be very inconsistent and is not is not thinking of your future. If you're thinking of your future in Nigeria, then I don't know what to tell you, because those that are telling you I love Nigeria, I want to stay in Nigeria, then people probably have passports, have several businesses, have savings in other currencies. They have a backup plan. When you see people that choose not to jackpot, of course they have a backup plan. Of course they do. Of course they do. There's something that's keeping them there, because if you see the events that's going on in Nigeria and you say that you don't want to leave, or you say that things will get better, go and ask people who have stayed and said things will get better, and look at where they are now. So it's already a problem, and I think there's so much work that needs to be done, to be very honest. But put what you think about this in the comment section below, because even those that would seek to now leave the country, if you want to go to Britain, I mean, basically £1,000 is basically 1 million naira. Interesting. Do you know how crazy this is? Like, it's actually so mad, because it's already expensive to live in the country, and those that have been saving to leave, your money just shrinks. It's bad. It's really, really bad. But yeah, we'll see what happens when it comes to investments and blah, blah, blah. Please, I don't think it will affect anything. If you see a country like Nigeria and you chose to invest and you chose to bring your money into the country, and you now chose to stay with all the things that have been happening, then you yourself, you enjoy Nigeria as a, unregulated place for you to do your business. So you also shady yourself. So the investors that want to stay, that find benefits, of course, are benefiting from how messed up the system is. So when it comes to investors, please, the ones that want to just make money and dip and use the country, already there. Put what you think in the comment section below, and don't forget to like and subscribe.